RBB Morning Show, the coach, mentor, marketing, and social media strategist you need each and every morning. RBB, a live morning talk show that gives you the ability to get the coach you need, strategist you wish you could afford, social media manager and strategist, marketing strategist, project manager, certified OBM, VA, business startup strategist, profit strategist, web strategist, email funnel strategist, sales page strategist, PR strategist, time management, mindset, and overall business development strategist. We answer it all. With over 25 years of business experience, both in corporate and small business worlds, we really can answer it all. So far today, and you're going to have an amazing wrap up to your week. I know you will. We are just talking about anything today. So if you have any questions, be sure to pop on and ask. Let us know you're here. And we're wrapping up the week. So this week has been a fun week for me. I got to get back into forum world, which I love, which if you haven't heard us talking about it this week, go back and watch our videos from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, where we talked a bit about that and all the changes coming to social media. I actually had a meeting last night with a couple heads of some major Fortune 500 companies and just friends I've known for years. And
thanks for letting me know.
Well, they're just friends I've known for years, whatever. And we very rarely talk business, but they wanted to complain. She goes, the one woman says, what the heck is going on with my marketing department? They're all losing their minds. She goes, you'll know, because they can't explain it to me. And I'm like, what do you mean they can't explain it to me? Well, our ads are getting no conversion and we have $5,000 ad spend a month. And this is happening and this is happening. And the only thing that's working is anything outside of Facebook and Instagram, where Facebook and Instagram have been our biggest sales drivers for 4 years. And I'm like, well, really? You should watch my show. And we got talking about it. And even their marketing teams aren't paying attention to what's going on to the algorithms because Facebook is sending out information that's not the same to their major corporations that have huge ad spend. And when I say huge ad spend, they're supporting Facebook commercials on TV. And I mean, a very different world than all of us live in. And I'm like, go read Facebook blogs, go just pay attention to news feeds. I mean, we're all complaining about this stuff. And they watched our show for Monday while I was on a Zoom call with them. They're like, hold on a second. And they're both watching it and asking me a million questions. This is not secret. This is really not, Facebook's not keeping any of this a secret. So why aren't people taking the time to figure it out? I see so many, and I've seen like 5 threads this morning on different Facebook groups where people are like, what the heck's going on with my Instagram and my Facebook? Pay attention, people. It's obvious something's going on.
Yeah. And it's like, I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday where he's wanting to live stream. And when I was telling him, his whole strategy was great, except for he wanted to stream specifically in Facebook now, but more in his group. And when Danielle and I were talking, we're like, no, do YouTube live. So like, and you can share that anywhere. So, but obviously you want to share just the video to keep it native to Facebook because they are cranky about that. But big changes are coming and big things are really happening. You need to pay attention and figure out what to do about it.
And there's also a certain amount of really making sure that you're paying attention to your own analytics. I mean, not trusting what I say, what Facebook says, whatever. There's a million people talking about all these changes, people. But looking at your own Google Analytics, where is your traffic coming from? Where is it not coming from? Good morning, Brenda Lee. And making sure that you really are paying attention to where your own traffic is coming from. I will tell you right now, our traffic is nosedive on Facebook and Instagram. And it did that like a month and a half ago, which made me start asking questions because I watch those numbers at least 3 times a week. I'm looking at my analytics.
okay, what's going on? Where's traffic coming from? What keywords are the hottest right now? All of those things. And I noticed over a month ago that there were problems with my analytics before I really started seeing the difference in my numbers on Facebook and Instagram. So your Google Analytics will tell you so much. Make sure that you're really paying attention to that stuff. And you need to. I don't trust Facebook Analytics and Instagram Analytics or Google Analytics all as a whole. I take everything as a whole big ball of wax, compare all the numbers together and go, okay, these match, this matches, and take and average everything out. And you have to stay on top of that because you can't trust Facebook.
You should be watching your analytics and your numbers all the time anyway, because they're what are going to tell you what's working and what's not.
Yeah. What keywords are working? What sales pages do you have up that aren't getting hits? Or they're getting hits, but people only stay on them for 20 seconds. Or there's so many things that you can tweak and fix and redo and rewrite and reconfigure on your side to do better with your own traffic. Being good at SEO is so much more than just knowing your keywords and how to put in SEO on your website. It's knowing how to use your Google Analytics.
Yeah, and be able to leverage them to improve the SEO that you did.
Mm-hmm. So that's super important that you get things like that set up and set up correctly. Make sure that you're just paying attention. And I can't stress that enough. I don't know how often I say, don't just trust what somebody says to you. Don't ever trust anybody. Don't trust me. Don't trust Gina. I mean, we're good and I'll tell you we're trustworthy, but we get things wrong sometimes. Make sure that you're doing the research yourself and you understand.
Don't be a lemming.
Yeah. And if you don't know what a lemming is, go look it up.
Don't be a lemming.
And not lemming. So sorry.
Rock
and roll brain goes there. And now Gina's going to look at me like, who the heck are you talking about? But make sure that you really, really know. Don't just trust what Hootsuite says, what Facebook says. Don't trust Facebook and Instagram. Never trust the platform that you're on to show you everything about them. So I'm going to share an extreme case of that. In my old tech world, there was an online site that was padding their numbers like you wouldn't believe. And they were still truthful. They never lied about anything completely. But they manipulated the numbers to look like they were something else. Every platform, every business, if they're earning more than $20,000 a year, I would say pretty much every business does that. Unfortunately, there's a lot of businesses that make $0 a year that are in the fake it till you make it world. And they lie about their numbers. I don't trust Instagram's insights. I don't trust Facebook's insights. I don't trust Google Analytics 100%. I don't trust any of that. I don't trust Hootsuite's blog over Facebook's blog, over Instagram's blog, over anybody's. I read it all and step back and then analyze my own numbers and go, oh, this makes sense. I said this over on Instagram's blog and oh, this really makes sense. And now this number makes sense, but it's not exactly what Instagram says, but this, because I've taken the time to understand that stuff. If you do not understand that, if that's not how your brain works, hire me for an hour. I'll come in and show you how to read it all. Because I will tell you with an online, if you have an online business that 99% of your income comes from driving traffic online, you need to understand your Google Analytics. You need to know how to set it up. You need to know how to read it. You need to know how to analyze it. It is super important. I keep telling y'all, marketing, social media is all about math. And I'm not kidding. It's not about, yes, all your content and your hashtags and your pictures all affect it. But in the end, it's all about the math. What do those pictures do for your math? What do those words do for your math? What do the hashtags do for your math? And how to read that math and how to devise the formulas so you can make sense out of it. I didn't realize when I went for a marketing degree how much math I was going to have to do. I hate math, let me tell you.
That's why I chose marketing.
I didn't realize it was all math. And because marketing, that means ads and writing content and doing beautiful pictures. No. That's like a quarter of what marketing is. And PR is all about numbers and all about connections, like connections, super mega connections. There are things, social media is about 50% math. Sorry. And knowing how to read that math and knowing how to analyze it, that's a big deal for your business. Unfortunately, the days of DIYing a lot of this stuff without having solid information, because I can go DIY marketing on YouTube. I can watch 9,000 marketing videos. You want to know what I get out of those 9,000 marketing videos? About zip. And I'll tell you the truth. You want to know what I got in my master's degree in business administration and marketing when it comes to running my business and my marketing? Not quite zip, but almost.
I got zip from my project management master's. But all I did was write papers on theory. Because that's all my graduate degree was a paper every
well, yeah, and I have my PCMI in stupid. So I have 4 degrees. I have my PCMI. I have my paralegal degree, though I do not have my license because I hated it. I should not have done that. Just take my word for it. I have my business administration and my marketing, and I have a master in those 2. And let me tell you, what I learned in school helps. The math that I learned, I will tell you, that really helped. But everything else was diddly squat. I've learned from the 25 years I've had in business, I've learned a lot more. And I got my master's 3 years ago. So I will tell you that I spent a whole lot of time arguing with my professors. Like, that doesn't actually work.
Yeah, my real world experience is how I got so good at coordinating and operations and getting organized and keeping things together.
Yep.
Like, it was my real world experience. It had nothing to do, because everything that I was learning in business school was theory. That's all they were teaching was theory from textbooks that were 10,
20 years old.
Yeah.
Okay, Brenda Lee, with the Facebook changes, which other social media should we be utilizing more? So we've talked about a bit more. So we've given a new way to do social media ourselves. And that's our online forum. It's absolutely free. You could join in anytime. Hey, Gina, can you go grab the link to that and put that in here for me?
Doing it now.
The other forms of social media that are going to really still drive traffic. Facebook is still good for now. However, do not post anything business-like on your personal page. Chances of you getting deleted are like 90% at this point. Make sure that you're posting consistent content. Make sure you're staying active still on Facebook, because it is still where everybody is, because nobody's understanding why their reach isn't working, but they're still trying to make it work. So Facebook is still okay. Instagram, probably a waste of time as a business. Unless you have ad spend, it's a waste of time. Twitter, massive. You can get a lot of attention on Twitter quickly. Gina pissed off a CEO of a major corporation yesterday.
He was not mad at me. He just scolded me.
And I find it amusing. I've had some people on Twitter, major people in our world for whatever reason, also follow me on Twitter and respond to things and ask me questions and all of that. And it's super important that you're somewhere where people are interacting. Twitter is that place right now. Pinterest, not social media, but great at driving traffic to your website. So what this really means is traditional marketing has come back in, and you need to be utilizing traditional things. We have been told for like last 8-9 years that social media is a thing. So you don't need a blog. You don't need to be creating content outside of your Facebook posts and your Instagram posts and things like that. Right now, I will tell you wrong. Your blog needs to be on fire. Your articles on LinkedIn need to be on fire. Your Pinterest pinning needs to be really active, and repinning needs to be really active. Your Twitter needs to be really active. And just
yesterday, and I was so excited. Like Danielle was laughing at me. So back when I was really learning and getting good at Pinterest, and now I'm doing it again. There was a application out there that now no longer exists. And I can't remember what they did to run their company into the ground, but they did. And it was called Board Booster. And there was Board Booster and Tailwind. Those were the two Pinterest management like juggernauts, right? Well, what made Board Booster superior to Tailwind was you could loop boards, loop pins, you could loop.
Mm-hmm.
And it would literally it was constantly repinning for you, like all the time. And it was amazing, so that you literally only had to spend about 30 minutes a day and then after you got really good at it, or a week on your Pinterest. And it was always working for you and being active in the background, which grows it like crazy. The more active you are, the faster your Pinterest will grow. And yesterday, and now Board Booster no longer exists, which sad panda, but now Tailwind has a looping feature. And I set it up for us yesterday, and I was able, I think I spent Danielle, 10, 15 minutes, and I had 33 pins that were scheduled, ready to go already. Mm-hmm. And, I'll work on it. And then now I'll work on it a little every morning because we have blogs that are about to start coming out. I worked on that yesterday. I've been doing a lot for our content marketing in the background. So I do things other than the ops when need be. And it's what a time to be alive, you guys. Like, because if you're paying attention to the digital marketing space, then then you're paying attention to how some tools are already setting you up for success because they saw this coming down the pipeline, like, you can't fail. That's if you're paying attention, though.
Mm-hmm. You just need to go back to a lot of traditional things. You have to be making connections, like true networking connections. And in Facebook groups, something that Facebook groups has crippled potential client connections, because we congregate in a group of VA women. Well, other VA women are not going to hire you because you're a VA too. You're all competing with each other. And while the support and the tribe mentality is amazing, I'm not knocking that. I know the Virtual Sisters VA group, and I just totally drew a blank on the name, is phenomenal. And they support each other and give each other tips and train each other. And it's amazing. However, you're not going to get any clients from being in there, period. It's not going to happen.
No.
Now, I know that a couple of the mentors in that group have hired each other for things now. Susan and I have hired Susan to do some work for us, and I'm going to be helping her out and doing things. But that's because we were not the VAs in that group. We were there to support the VAs. I have left that group because I no longer have time to provide that much support, as our business is taking off and I need to concentrate there. And there are other groups of photographers where they all hang out. Well, photographers here and there do hire each other because they can't take their own pictures, but it's pretty rare. And usually they're bartering or trading. Women helping women. There are 900,000 MLM women in the Women Helping Women group. They're not buying from each other, let me tell you. Other VAs do not hire a VA. Unless you have a VA agency, then you may hire VAs. But not many agencies. I will tell you, as agency people, I mean, I hang out in them a little bit, but not that much. You will notice that I'm not in Facebook groups very much anymore because they're just not worth my time and effort. They take a whole lot of effort for very little return on investment. And right now, with the forum, and I have been in forum world before, I know this to be true. Forums do so much for my business directly. And I'm posting on Reddit again. And I spent probably an hour on Reddit yesterday. And I have 3 potential soft leads at this point. They're very soft. I haven't gotten them to the point where they're warm leads, but an hour. I could spend an hour on Facebook and get nothing.
Yeah.
And that happens a lot. So right now I'm looking at the analytics from the forum. And right now we have 8 people on the forum. Okay. And only 42 posts. There isn't much right now. And we have 1,800 people that have hit the forum, all from Facebook, or not Facebook, Google searches. People searching for the topics that we're talking about on the forum. 1,800 people have gone to my forum. Sandra has gotten another 25 hits from the forum into her website. And Sandra has only done 5 posts. But she shared her knowledge, true value. And when you share true value, people are going to click your website link underneath your name. We've gotten 135 hits to our Be Boss Girl site from that. I have the same ability to do anything that you all do on that. Just because I own it doesn't mean I have more control over where the traffic goes. Nobody controls the traffic that comes from Google.
No. We're all at the mercy of Google.
So, and then we have 135 that have come from Pinterest. That's huge. And I will tell you that my posting on the forum, I've got maybe an hour since Friday last week, as far as writing posts and being in there.
It doesn't take much. You could go into a forum for like 30 minutes to an hour a day, go in there, post, interact, chat with some friends, then, go to Pinterest for 15, 20 minutes, schedule some stuff, like get a couple of pins created if you wanted to, and be like done for the day, because that can be set it and forget it marketing. Truly.
Writing blog posts is huge, because you use every blog post that we write gets between 5 and 10 pins to Pinterest, depending on the blog post. And then you're repinning those pins hundreds of times.
Smart loop. That's where the smart loop comes in. But what most people aren't realizing is they're panicking because what's familiar and what's been easy, and what I personally believe has made people lazy, is going away. And I think this is great. But what they don't realize is now they have been given the opportunity to market their business and grow it, but work smarter, not harder.
Instagram, Facebook, and we said that a few times this week, are poke and hope. You write a post hoping somebody will see it and hoping somebody will interact with it. The forum, I write a post and I know it's going to get interaction. I mean, there's no doubt. Somebody is going to search for something on Google if I'm being smart about providing value, and going to end up on my website. We have places to post your podcast, your vlogs, your blogs, your resources, your branding stuff, your mindset stuff, products, services. You can post every day. If you're an active member of the community, you could post a new product every single day of the week.
Yep, you can post your new blog post, and it's a whole other place for you to share it and for it to become searchable. Because that's what this crisis is creating. Is it's actually making you searchable. You're not searchable on Instagram. You're not searchable on Facebook. You are searchable on a forum. You are searchable on your website. You are searchable on YouTube, and you are searchable on Pinterest. Because I don't know if you guys noticed, if when you Google something, there's been a lot of times I've Googled something and a Pinterest pin has popped up on the first page of Google, or a YouTube video has popped up on the first page of Google. Do you guys see how that is superior to going and hanging out in an overly saturated Facebook group where everybody is shouting, me, it's better. And the even better part is that some people are entirely too lazy to do this. And because of that laziness, that means the herd is about to be thinned, my friends.
Very much so. I mean, you really can't get much easier than this, doing this. It is so easy.
Traditional marketing is not your enemy. It's just the Facebook influencer method. It was a bubble. It worked for a little while. Some people have made their millions doing it, but can you sustain it when these vehicles go away? That's the question.
Yeah. And the answer is no, you can't. You can't sustain that influencer life without something like this. And it's going to change. There's always going to be influencers. You're always going to have your Kim Kardashians and your whatevers. But being able to share that, do something with it is huge. And when the way we've set the forum up is you can there's a little gear up at the corner of every single post, and you can now share that to Twitter. So you could go create a bunch yourself a bunch of Twitter content without ever really having to work for it.
I know, I was following a bunch of people and doing a bunch of stuff yesterday because you need to have, basically the more content you have and the more active you are on Twitter, the better it works out. So I needed stuff to tweet and retweet and a bunch of other stuff. So I was going through the forum, going through my news feed, going through my feed, retweeting things that are relevant that I think are awesome. Getting a slap on the wrist from the CEO of T-Mobile because I laughed about his little doll being on a roof. Now I'm invested in this doll.
There's so much that you could do in a very simple, a blog post. The ROI on a blog post right now has just skyrocketed again. And I'm not just saying that because I think it's going to happen. I'm watching it happen, and not just for us, for our clients. Sharing a blog post to Twitter and Pinterest, and the 5 to 10 pins that you get to Pinterest for a blog post is huge. The ROI is, we hired somebody to write us blog posts. So we paid somebody else to write 30 blog posts for us.
I'm having to go through and rewrite them and change the language so it sounds more like us, but it's saving us an absorbent amount of time.
Yeah, because we spend like half hour maybe on a blog post now between graphics and rewriting it. And off they go. And they become LinkedIn articles. They become many Twitter posts. They become many Pinterest pins. We can share them to Facebook. They're everywhere. And it's a half hour work and we paid to buy back some of our time to get them written. So there's a whole lot you can be doing with some really good content creation and deep content creation, providing real value to your potential customers. And that's a huge deal. So everybody have an amazing week this week. Weekend. Have an amazing weekend. I look forward to seeing you all again Monday morning. Remember to rise, become, and be again. And we have a lot of exciting things going on next week. So I can't wait to start sharing and share who our new partner is here at Be Boss Girl and really dive in and get to show off some of that stuff. So we will talk to you next week.
RBB Morning Show, the coach, mentor, marketing, and social media strategist you need each and every morning.